What's good, everyone? You are tuned in to Raggedy Crimes and Chaos, where target selection is everything. I'm your host, and today we're in Tennessee, where a man tried to rob a gun store with a baseball bat and a knife, while the owner and customers were armed. This went about as well as you'd expect. Let's get into this spectacularly stupid disaster. Alright, so this is Clarksville, Tennessee. Small town, tight-knit community. There's a gun store called Guns and Ammo Depot. They sell firearms, ammunition, tactical gear. And on this particular day, the store has 5 customers inside, all browsing, all gun enthusiasts. And the owner, Mr. Davis, is behind the counter. Former Marine, 20 years in the business. And then the door opens. A man walks in. His name is Brandon, 24 years old. He's wearing a ski mask, holding a baseball bat in one hand and a knife in the other. And he screams, "This is a robbery. Everybody on the ground." The customers freeze. Mr. Davis looks up from the counter, looks at Brandon, looks at the bat and knife, and just sighs. Mr. Davis calmly reaches under the counter, pulls out a shotgun, racks it, click-clack. "Son, you picked the wrong store." Brandon freezes, and then he notices 3 of the customers have drawn their own guns. One guy has a Glock, another has a .45, third guy has a revolver. One guy has a Glock, another has a One guy has a Glock, another has a .45, third guy has a revolver, all pointed at Brandon. Brandon is now facing 4 guns, with a bat and a knife. The math is not in his favor. Brandon slowly lowers the bat. "Drop the weapons now," Mr. Davis says. Brandon drops the bat, drops the knife, raises his hands. I'm sorry. This was a mistake." "Yeah, no kidding," one of the customers says. Another customer, an older man in a cowboy hat, shakes his head. "Son, did you really think you could rob a gun store with a bat?" Brandon doesn't answer. Mr. Davis keeps the shotgun trained on him. "Everybody stay calm. I'm calling the police." Brandon is told to lie face down on the floor. He complies immediately, hands behind his head. The customers keep their guns out, just in case. One of them, a younger guy, starts laughing. "Dude, This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Shut up, Brandon mumbles from the floor. No, seriously, what was the plan here? I said shut up. The cowboy hat guy chimes in. You know what the sign says outside? Guns and ammo. That didn't tip you off? Brandon says nothing. Mr. Davis is on the phone with 911. Yeah, we had an attempted robbery. Suspect is detained. No injuries. Did you say detained? Yes, he's on the floor. We're all armed. He had a bat and a knife. Dispatch pauses. He tried to rob a gun store with a bat? Yes, ma'am. Officers are en route. Officers are en route. Police arrived 3 minutes later. 6 officers, guns drawn. They enter the store, see Brandon on the floor. See the customers with guns. See Mr. Davis holding the shotgun. Officer Thompson takes in the scene. Everyone, lower your weapons. We've got this. The customers holster their guns. Mr. Davis puts the shotgun back under the counter. Officers cuff Brandon. Pull him to his feet. Son, what were you thinking? Officer Thompson asks. I wasn't. Clearly. At the station, Brandon is questioned. Why a gun store? I thought they'd have cash. They do have cash, but they also have guns. I didn't think about that. You didn't think about the fact that a gun store would have guns? No. The detective stares at him. Brandon, do you understand how stupid this was? Yeah, I get it now. What was your plan if they gave you the money? Run? That's it. Just run? Yeah. The detective closes the file. You're going to jail for a long time. Brandon is charged with attempted armed robbery, aggravated assault for threatening people with a knife, criminal trespassing with intent. In court, the judge reads the report. Mr. Brandon, you attempted to rob a gun store with a bat and a knife. Yes, Your Honor. While the owner and multiple customers were armed. Yes, Your Honor. The judge removes his glasses. This is, without question, the worst robbery attempt I've ever seen. I know, Your Honor. 3 years in state prison. Maybe use that time to rethink your life choices. Brandon nods. He's led out of the courtroom. The gallery is full of people shaking their heads. So, what have we learned from today's Raggedy crime? Lesson 1. Don't rob a gun store. Ever. For any reason. Lesson 2. If you're going to commit a crime, at least consider the target. A place full of armed people is a bad choice. Lesson 3. A bat and a knife are not effective against firearms. That's just physics. And honestly, this is natural selection at work. Brandon walked into a store full of guns with a bat. That's not a plan. That's a death wish. Thankfully, nobody got hurt except Brandon's pride, which was destroyed. Brandon served his 3 years, got out, found work at a fast food restaurant, and hopefully learned to never rob anyone again. Alright, that's it for today's episode of Raggedy Crimes and Chaos. If this made you appreciate common sense, same. Tomorrow, we're talking about a man who called 911 to report his stolen cocaine and gave the dispatcher his address while sitting on a couch full of more cocaine. The police were very helpful. Until next time, stay safe out there, and please don't rob gun stores. I'm out.